So, day 6. What a week. Wednesday, I couldn't walk. It was funny at work because I walked through warehouses. I'm a forklift mechanic, and customers were looking at me like, "What the hell's wrong with you?" Because I was walking around like a penguin. It's funny, going to CrossFit Pendulum. While I'm doing the workout, it sucks obviously, but I feel so much better afterwards. So regardless of how I felt on Wednesday, I've really enjoyed it thus far. Besides that, I've gotten lazy cooking, but I've still been eating right. I think I'm going to do what Drew from CrossFit Pendulum told me to do, which is meal planning. I think that's my best option, where I cook, for a couple days on one day, because I think that every day is what, makes me not want to do it. I get lazy about it. But anyways, day 6 today. It's Saturday. It's about 9:12 in the morning. Dario from CrossFit Pendulum is going to have me go visit Sarah from FlexFit. I'll double check that later. So I'm headed there now. She's gonna pretty much tell me what my fat amount is, what my muscle is, just go in depth in my weight and let me know exactly what's going on with my body. So that's where I'm headed to right now. So that should be kind of exciting. I'll see if she'll let me record so you guys can see what happens there. But yeah, besides that, I went to CrossFit Monday, Tuesday. I took Wednesday off for the reasons I just said. I couldn't really walk. And then I went Thursday and yesterday. Drew told me if I get out early enough from going to visit Sarah right now to swing by. My appointment's at 9:45 though, and class is at 10:30, so I don't know if I'm gonna make it. Hopefully I don't make it, but I don't mean that. But we'll see what happens. But yeah, so I'll see you guys when I get there.
Okay, you have a seat, my brother. And before we do any sort of testing, I want to hear a little bit about your journey. So I'm gonna, if it's okay, I'm gonna take a few notes.
Okay.
So I want to hear let's start with when you first felt overweight.
Well, I've been big my whole life. I've never been skinny. Maybe when I was like 4 years old. And it's getting to a point where my job is real physical, and I start feeling it now more at work, and I know I'm getting older. I'm just tired of being fat.
Right.
So
What's your job?
I'm a forklift technician, so I go from company to company, and yeah, I'm always on the move.
And in and out of the machine.
Exactly.
So was there any other catalyst that made you go, this is my time?
I think there was like little hints throughout the past couple years, seeing other people be successful in losing weight, just got me more intrigued to doing it.
Right.
And I guess just after maybe seeing something, I can't say what,
Right.
it just triggered that maybe I should really do it, especially for my future, because it's
It
good
sounds like a switch. That's why I'm asking. It sounds like a switch went off, right? And you're like, I'm gonna do this. And you joined Pendulum, and you just started? Okay.
Last Saturday was my first class.
Perfect. And so what we're gonna do as part of your village that's gonna support you is we're gonna set a baseline of body health. So we're gonna look at how much of your body presently is muscle, which is probably substantial, how much is fat, how much is water, where that lean muscle is, and then what's going to be extremely valuable is you're gonna get your basal metabolic rate. Are you familiar with this
No.
term? So basically, if I took you to the lab at USC and I had you run on a treadmill and I hooked you up to what we call a VO2 max machine, have you seen these?
Yeah, I've seen
I
that.
would measure the rate at which your body uses oxygen, and I would come up with basically how many calories you burn at rest.
Gotcha.
Within about 2 to 3% of that number that we would get in the lab, and it's expensive test. We can use an equation called the Cunningham equation, which bases your BMR off of how much muscle's on your body. And it makes sense because the bigger the machine at 98.6 degrees Fahrenheit, the more energy you're going to burn on idle. It's just like a car, right? Bigger the engine, bigger the idle. So the reason this is important is on your weight loss journey, we want you in a calorie deficit, but not too big of a deficit where you're going to metabolize all your muscle and feel low energy. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Is there anyone helping you with nutrition?
No.
Okay. Are you going to follow a plan? Do you have anything in your arsenal?
Well, let me tell you a little bit about that. About 2 years ago, I did the whole juice diet, and I was on that thing for like 32 days. And yeah, I talked about it at my first episode. And yeah, I felt the problem with that was after maybe a week or two, I was fine on it. But the problem was I couldn't work out because if I worked out, I cramped. If I stretched, I cramped. I cramped for anything. So that fell apart. But what I've been doing as of recently, and I'm enjoying it, is I'm steaming. I bought a little oyster steamer.
Great.
And I'll cook my chicken in there. I put vegetables on top, and I've just been messing with that.
So you're doing an intuitive diet. It sounds like protein, vegetables, probably minimal processed food.
Yeah, just
no sugar.
Pretty much chicken and vegetables. I'm mixing fish, stuff like that.
So here's what I want you to see me every month.
Okay.
Okay. And I'm going to tell Dario this as well. Every month you're going to come in and we're going to look at how much of your weight loss is fat and how much of your weight loss is muscle or lean mass. You are going to lose some lean mass. There is no way you're going to drop a person and not lose some of the muscle that you have on your body. But we want to keep as much of that muscle as possible. And CrossFit will really help with that. Does that make sense?
Yes.
And let's say you come in and we see that half of your weight loss came from lean mass. Then I'm going to say, okay, you need to take stricter inventory of what you're eating, and we need to up the calories in terms of good fats or proteins or complex carbohydrates. So you've got to kind of let me inform what's going on a little bit. Does that make sense?
Yes.
But today it's just baseline. We're going to get your numbers, make sure you understand the report, and I know you know this intuitively, but it's not a report card, and I need you to really ingest this. This is not look at where you are and look at how you've got here. It's this is where you're at and you're moving forward.
So, wanted to talk about what I went through with Sarah and show you guys actually the sheet. It was really good experience. Sarah was very, very helpful. I just want to correct myself. It's FitFacts. I said it differently earlier in the video. I apologize to Sarah. But yeah, very informative. I'm going to actually start seeing her once a month to keep track. And I recommend anybody interested in something like this to go see her. She has a lot of help. And thank you very much to Dario for having me go see her. I appreciate it very much. But anyways, so what we went through, I don't know if you can actually see this. Let me see on my screen. And maybe. Alright, so what we found out was total body water was 151 pounds. Dry lean mass was 55 pounds. So my lean body mass is 206. So if I were to be like skinny, I would be at 206 right now. I do have a lot of muscle mass, but that's due to my size. You know, I carry a lot of weight, so that's the reason why I have so much muscle mass. Body fat was at 171, which brings me at a total of 378, which is 8 pounds less than last week when I started. I was at 386, so there's some progress already. She also told me to maintain my actual size right now, I would have to eat around 2,400 calories a day. And then on this sheet, pretty much says if I was like active, pretty much the calorie count of what you would want to be eating. Obviously, protein, vegetables, not Well, at least for me, not so much carbs, but so yeah. So right now she has me. She wants me at 2760. So that's what I'm gonna shoot for. And yeah, like I said, she's very informative, really good experience, and I'm gonna use her as a tool for my journey. And yeah, so that's where I was at. Besides that, just touching on what I was talking about in the beginning of the video. You know, when I leave the box, I feel great. Drew's really good, and a lot of thanks to him also. So yeah, just another week. I'll get back to you guys next week, and I'll let you know how it's going.